are ready to rock and roll. Yes. And you can do a little rolling out here at VSS West Pines. Yes, 12397 Pembroke Road. We're out here. You can order online. You can call in, all right, at 954-633, right, if I'm right, 633-3367 if you want to order. They've got toilet paper. They've got, what's it called, paper towels. They've got a hand sanitizer here at VSS West Pines. So if you need that kind of stuff along with your CBD needs, it is a stressful time where you can relax and chill and enjoy yourself. You know, they've got all kinds of different products here, man. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com. And again, ask for Jose, ask for all the great people out here at VSS West Pines. They will take care of you, Jason and Alex and Tommy and Sasha and all that. So, yes.
613.
Yeah, 613-3367. Yes, 954-613-3367. And Doug and Victoria, no lunch boxes today, okay? All right. Actually, they have an order placed, but they haven't brought in new ones yet. You know, shipping's kind of weird nowadays. Have you noticed, like, when you order on Amazon Prime, it's not really everything is 2 days anymore now, because they tell you ahead of time that they've got priorities and things like that. So that's all understandable. But anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about. And I was driving here to VSS West Pines. Now, you know, we got to be responsible, okay? And we got to keep our distance, social distancing, all that stuff. It's very, very, very important. And I'm all for it, okay? Are there extremes in all of this? And I say, not when you walk into a place, you should have your mask on. You know, what we saw in Hialeah should not be happening. I mean, the people in line for an employment form, and they're all bunched up. And I feel terrible for those people because they are in desperate need for money. You know, they're hurting. Like a lot of people in this country are hurting right now. But wow, yesterday that was irresponsible. That was disgusting. There were some people that weren't even wearing their masks the right way. There were a couple that didn't even have a mask on, and they're all bunched up there. That was just so irresponsible. I can't believe that we allowed that to happen, but I know it is what it is. But there are extremes, right? And can I bring one up? I don't think you need to wear your mask in your car. That I find that one to be a little silly. It's not airborne to the point that it's popped up in the highway. It's going to go through the grill of your car, somehow make it through the engine, get into your AC vent, and then spit in your face. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? And just so you'll know, your steering wheel picks up everything that you touch all throughout the last couple of months. So unless you're really cleaning that steering wheel thoroughly, your hands are dirty. So when you put that steering wheel and then you're touching your mask, you're touching it with stuff that's that's the part I didn't understand. Wear your mask outside. Don't wear your mask inside your car. Plus, you're dirtying up your mask for no reason at all. You got to breathe on it, right? You got to hang out with it. Keep it as fresh as possible. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I find it kind of ridiculous to go to that. Look, I was on this before most people. Okay, I took this seriously from the get-go. All right, I had my N99 masks. We had ours over a month ago now. You guys know it. I mean, I talk about my life every day. I kept telling you guys, hey, no, we're loading up today. We're going to go shop for this. We're going to shop for that. I mean, I kind of live my life, you know, with you guys every day. You know exactly where I'm coming from. And so I just kind of find it weird that you would wear your mask on that. Now, this is going to change a lot of things that we do, right? I mean, are you going to be shaking hands? Think about that. that might be something that goes completely by the wayside. Maybe it's a fist bump from here on out. Maybe it's just a little salute. You know what I mean? Maybe you do what Asians have done for years, where you just, I guess, tilt your head, that kind of stuff. That whole shaking hands thing. And I got to tell you, I don't get a lot of colds, but I hate getting them because I work with my voice every day. So it's a real pain in the ass whenever I get a cold. I've told you guys the story that when somebody has a cold in our house, we kind of try to stay away from them so we don't give it to another person in the house. You know what I mean? And like when my wife or my daughter gets it, I try to stay away from them because I don't want to pick it up because I got to work with my voice every single day. And it's a pain in the ass when your voice is struggling and you've got to get it back on track and you all this stuff. I went through a period where it was really, really rough, man. And it was just because I was also sick, too.
You don't revert to, like, childhood times and go, you got the cooties, you got the...
Right. Exactly. But, I mean, things are going to change for us, right? I mean, the no shaking hands thing, I think that's a great rule from here on out. Because that's where, I mean, think about it. How many people have you shook their hands that, 15 minutes ago they were probably picking their nose with that hand? They were in the car on the way to that meeting picking their nose, and then they got off, and then they shook hands with you. You know what I'm saying?
Pick a winner, don't make it dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. So I think the fist pounding is going to be kind of the future, or just like, hey, man, good to see you, whatever, all that kind of stuff. I think that kind of stuff is going to go by the wayside, and it should. It should, because that's why. Look, right now, less people are getting colds. Forget not just COVID. Less people are getting colds. There's less crime right now. There's less of everything right now. Right now you can't measure anything because it's not normal and natural and the way things are. In the last month, everything is different. There's less pollution going on right now because there's a boatload of cars that aren't on the streets right now. And listen, kudos to all of us. We've done a really good job of sticking with this, being responsible overall. Obviously, we've got idiots. We've got idiots going to church. We've got, people that are desperate and they're bunched up for an unemployment form. I mean, there are things that are going on that we still can't stop. You know what I mean? There's some stuff there still going on, but overall, I think we've done an exceptional job of fighting this thing. And we all know that if we would have hit the streets and stayed on the streets and festivals and concerts and all that, I can't imagine what the death rate would have been now. I can't imagine what a place like New York would have suffered if you would have kept going, So tough stuff, man. Anyway, we got, a bunch of stuff to talk about today on the show. Alex Diaz is saying, what's up Wednesday? Paul Susky is saying, roll one up, Big O. And let's see what else. Mark McIntyre says, Rush and Iron Maiden lunchboxes have you all set. You are a beast. I don't know what kind of lunchboxes they ordered, but I gotta hide them because then Doug and Victoria want to purchase them, and we that's it. They got me one, which is more than enough, and I appreciate it. You guys are too much. Too kind, and thank you so much. NorCal saying, wake and bake, puff, puff, don't pass. I agree.
It's all mine.
Yeah, you know what? Now when you're hanging out with your boys and girls and you're all rolling, now everybody rolls one for themselves now. No passing around anymore.
So strictly personals.
Personals.
That's it.
Roll a personal now. That's what you got to, in order to not spread COVID or colds or anything, once this thing is done, roll personals. It's all about RP, baby. Roll personals. That's it, baby. I'm telling you. Okay? I'm just trying to give you guys, good advice here. Flipside Fishing is saying good afternoon. Thank you, sir. Myron Sanchez, good afternoon to O and everybody again. Social distance, everyone. Be home. Wash your hands constantly. Amen to that. I just put gas now in the Exxon that's right behind here. Chevron, I'm sorry, behind here. And got it at 180. $1.80, bro. It's like, hey, look, I'm old enough that I remember paying, just barely over $1 driving. I remember when I was really young, it was under $1, way under $1. So I'm old enough to remember gas prices being cheap, really cheap. But $1.80 is pretty damn cheap compared to what we've been paying for a long, long time. But anyway, in my car, I have stuffed on the left side those plastic gas gloves. You know which ones? The ones that they give out. And I've always taken a couple extra from every gas station I ever show up at. Like I get mine and then I get a few more and I stuff them. And I go again, I stuff. And before you know it, the side of my car has got 400 of them. So now I don't have to worry about it for a while. And so I get one of those and I pump I haven't touched a gas pump. And I think that's another reason why I don't get as many colds as the average person. I think Nature B helps, but it also helps that I do those kind of little things. The handshaking stuff, I never stayed away from that. I've always shook hands with everybody. You know what I mean? And the bro handshake is the worst of them all, right? Because you're like this, like this, like this. And you're shaking in all angles. So you're making sure you cover every part of everybody's hands and get all their germs.
Not even that, man. It's the shake, this, in, hug,
all
wrap.
that. Yeah, all that stuff. It's like, yeah, hey, feel all my germs. That's what's so this is what's going to happen. We're not going to do all those kind of things anymore. And so, yeah, when I got there, I put on the glove. I pumped the gas, right? Done with it. Then the receipt didn't come out, and I need the receipt so I can take a picture of it for my gas app that saves me a lot of money every month. And the receipt didn't print, so I had to go inside. So I kept the glove on so I can grab the door handle. I asked her for the receipt, got the receipt, and then I threw away the glove after I walked out of the place. That's it. And then when I got here, I set everything up. I went to the bathroom, washed my hands, put on my gloves, boom, again. This is what we have to do. We have no choice. This is the world that we're in. But we got to be responsible. But we're going to change. How many of you are going to stop shaking hands when this is done? Think about it. Shaking hands shouldn't be the end of the world, but if that stops you from getting an extra cold or two a year, that's pretty cool, actually. And I don't think anybody's going to hold it against you because you're not shaking hands. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, I was driving to McDonald's and I saw somebody with a mask on and I asked myself, why are you wearing in the car? And Buddy said, I don't want to take no chances while I'm driving. Now, I get it if you're in a car with 3 other people and stuff like that, and everybody's breathing and you're in a small area and you want to wear your mask, smart. But in the cars, NorCal says people wearing a mask in their cars are just checking their breath. Brush those teeth, wash them hands. Exactly. Ian from Brooklyn says, my stress relief, stay blessed, everyone. He says, Big O and Bill, my stress relief. Well, thank you. That's very nice of you. Lewis Jones says, what's up, Oster? Thank you. What else do we have here? King Short is chiming in with a good afternoon. John Santos says, hey, Big O, I'm upset. I thought the beaches in Florida are shut down. I heard a report wearing face mask is a must in South Beach. I thought we were to stay at home. No. You're mistaking, sir. It's not. The beaches are closed in South Beach. It's the rule in South Beach now. That's not a rule in Miami yet, or in Fort Lauderdale, or in Hollywood, or in Hallandale, or in Homestead, or Florida City, or whatever. In Miami Beach, my man, you have to wear a mask all the time. If you want to go into any establishment that's food, pharmacy, all that's the only things that are open nowadays, you must wear a mask in Miami Beach. You could go into Publix in Miami and they won't require you to wear a mask. You go to Publix in Miami Beach. That's where you're misunderstanding. It's not a matter that their beaches are open. Miami Beach has certain places open because people need the essentials. But in those places where they sell the essentials, it is a rule, a law, and they will not allow you in their establishments without a mask. I saw it even on the news. They were filming, like, they caught a guy that was walking in without a mask and told him, nope, you can't. You got to go get your mask. And the guy went to his car and got like a shirt and tied it around his face and all that. He didn't have a mask, but he created one because that's what they're telling you. They don't care if you have to create one, but you need something that covers your mouth and your nose. You know? So there you go. So that's what it is. It's not that the beaches are open. It's that in Miami Beach, you must wear a mask. George is saying good days. Eugene 96. Big O, my man, keeping it real. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Y2GAA says, Big O, I'm learning how to cut my own hair even though I don't have much. Anyway, thank you for filling my day with great conversation. Go Fins. And by the way, I got something on the Fins side that I want to talk about. That's another, like, thing that I'm looking forward to with the draft. Major props to Big O and show crew for making this show better than the original radio show. I doubt I'm the only listener that loves this new format. I'm still shaking my hands. I'm still shaking hands and mosh pitting. But thank you you know what? More and more people that, you know, as they find out about the show and all that stuff, and then they watch every day, they kind of get what we're doing and they understand it. And more people love, I mean, how do you not love this format? We don't have 27, 30 minutes of commercials in an hour. You know what I mean? I get to, like, speak my mind, and I don't have to worry about politics or anything. Not that I ever did, but I had to deal with the bullcrap behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. You know what I mean? It's like when I'm done with my show, I have to then deal with some wussy-ass program director that's never done my job in his life. You know, it's a joke. But most of you should be, if you like the show, you're definitely going to like it more here than you did in radio. Big O, what do you think about this virtual draft, brother? Things can go wrong quick, but Fish Management looks ready to me. No, it's not going to go wrong. It's fine. They'll have their video, their audio lines, text. They'll have plenty of ways to communicate with each other. I'm not that worried about it. RC in the 305 says, dang, bro, was worried for a minute. Oh, you mean, well, I told you guys we were starting at 12. Just to give you a heads up, we'll be out here at VSS West Pines normally on Wednesdays. Next Wednesday, we'll be back here again, and it'll be at noon. Now, the following week, we're going to do a little twist. Instead of being here on a Wednesday on the 22nd, I'm sorry, we're going to be here on Monday, the 20th. Because, I mean, the month we're right now in 420, so we want to get to 420. We want to be here. Only makes sense that you would be here at VSS West Pines on 420. Jerry Bridges says $1.45 gallon of gas in North Carolina. Really, Jerry? Wow, man. That's awesome, dude. $1.45, man. That is great.
That is the new low that I've heard in the last.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. RC in the 305 says he saw $1.39 in Carol City.
Us local?
Yeah.
What? Where?
Well, he's RC in the 305, dude.
Where, bro?
He said Carol City.
But Carol City's big, man.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. Where is it, bro? Is it by Captain Krabs? Because I haven't been to Captain Krabs in a long time. But back in the 80s, I used to love going to Captain Krabs. What is that? Miami Gardens, right off of, is it 47th, right? Isn't it, right? The garlic crabs. Oh, man, so good. Is that place still open? Do you know? Yeah? I wonder, somebody got to give me a scouting report. Is Captain Krabs and their garlic crabs still good? Okay? Because back in the day, that was something I looked forward to. I don't know why that Captain Krabs place didn't open up a couple of other locations. Because that place is the bomb. Back in the 80s, okay? That's me driving in, with Prince jamming. You know what I'm saying? Picking up a barrel of of garlic crabs. Love that place. Luis Vasquez Jr. Big O was up from Corona, California. Looks like social distancing and face masks are working. We're only seeing single-digit % increase for the past few days. Now, Luis, I want to also tell you something that we cannot measure and we can't be compared to. None of us can be compared to California. That state just gets it, like way ahead of everybody else. It doesn't matter if it's pollution. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's plastic bags. It doesn't matter if it's COVID, weed, you name it. They're ahead of the curve of everybody else. And they're always willing to do the things that is best for everyone. And they will sacrifice ahead of everyone. So they're always 8 steps ahead of the rest of the country. So I'm not surprised that California would make, big-time inroads faster than most. But I will say this. You look at our numbers here in Florida are not that bad. And considering how much of a tourist place we are, we've done a pretty good job overall, man. What do we got here? Permanently closed. Oh, okay. Thank you. No.
And I just called, and the number's been disconnected.
Okay.
I think they're done.
Oh, they're done. Okay. Yeah, but I don't think it's a COVID thing. They were probably done already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so no Captain Crabs. Okay. All right.
I was about to say,
brings back
we'll
memories,
do the
bro.
break. We'll do the break. It's only 4 miles away.
Yeah.
I'll be back in 25 minutes with Captain Krabs, bro, before we take our second break.
Don't do that to me, bro. Don't do that to me. T-Bone's asking, Big O, do you think there'll be less trades in the upcoming draft because of it's virtual now? No, I know that they were talking about that. No, I don't think so. Maybe, you know what? Overall, yes. I don't think it's going to stop our Dolphins from making whatever trades they want to make. Like I told you, I think our Dolphins have an inside track. Dennis Akers says, Big O, keep up the great work. Fins up. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Do you really see the Dolphins taking Herbert if Tua isn't there, or maybe? No, I don't. I think that they'll take Tua or they'll take a lineman. I don't think they're going to take Herbert. Eugene 96 says 79th Street by the bridge, Captain Krabs. Really? Get the hell out of here. So they moved it, is what you're saying, Eugene? Oh, check it out, bro. Check it out, Captain Krabs, 79th Street. Oh, man.
What, on the causeway? 79th Street Cause, right?
I guess that's what he has to. He says 79th Street by the bridge. Has to be Causeway.
So it's got to be before
Channel 7.
Well, Mike Gordon's, right? The restaurant that was on the north side.
Okay.
And then the next was Benihana's, right.
Benihana's is after Channel 7. So it's before that. That's what he's saying. But either way, it doesn't matter. Check it out. RC in the 305 says Hess truck stopped by 826 East was 193. My bad. Okay. Dude, 193 is a big difference. Let's see. Big O, do you have inside info on the Miami Brass is thinking for the draft? They have been really, really tight-lipped, bro, which is good. They're tight-lipped. They're not talking with anybody. I love that. I keep telling you, those of you that don't believe that there's a different front office and they're going to be better and they're going to be one of the best in the league, you'll see. JM says, not when it comes to homelessness. Okay. Dougie Fresh says, something you may have missed was the Tiger Kings storage shed, which was in Pensacola. Message to Tiger Kings, aliens, and fortune tellers. You can't escape the panhandle. We will not be denied. Would you trade for a Jaguar? Ngakoue? No, not now. No, because you got to trade picks, and then you've got to also give them money, like big-time money. No, man, you draft and develop your own. Troy Ortiz says, Big O, what's your opinion on that nose guard from Utah? I think he'd be a great pick at 39. They definitely could use a defensive tackle for the rotation. There's no doubt about that. I do have to tell you before we get into a little Dolphin talk, because I've got a bunch of Dolphin things that I want to get into. and we'll talk a little bit about the draft and some of those needs like defensive tackle. Give me a minute here. But there's also something that I want to talk about with the Dolphins coming up, and I think it's really important to kind of focus on this part of it because it's something that's going to make you feel really good about the Dolphins and about all of this going on. Before I do that, I do want to remind you we're out here at VSS West Pines, Pembroke Pines, man. Come on out, 12397 Pembroke Road. They are open. Okay, now you order and you can drive up and they can take it right out to you right there. Again, store's open, so come on over. You can call 954-613-3367. CBD in pretty much every form possible. Flour, tinctures, edibles like gummies and chocolates and jelly beans and ice cream. CBD topicals, Salve for pain, transdermal patches. They've got them all. If you're relaxing at home, you want to enjoy your hookah, they've got hookahs here from $19.99 and up. They've got e-juice here. They've got the disposable vape pens. They've got them in singular. They've got them in 3-packs. Go to the website. You'll see all the products there at vsswestpines.com. If you have questions, call them. They're ready for you. 954-613-3367. Any questions you have, you can ring it up, and then all you got to do is drive up. You don't have to deal with anybody. They'll walk right out and hand it to you. It's a beautiful thing, man. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And they have paper towels. They have toilet paper. So here's another thing. You know, you may have to go to Walmart and then make a big-ass line to get into Walmart because they're only allowing a certain amount of people. No line.
20% of the regular customer count.
Yeah.
20%.
Normal. Now, here, all you got to do is make a phone call, and they'll bring it out to you. So if you need hand sanitizer, you need paper towels, you need toilet paper, they've also got that here. 954-613-3367. You see the number right here under me on the right side. You see it. There you go, 954-613-3367. Let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll talk about something on the Dolphin side. I was thinking about this, okay, that when it comes to the Dolphins and this draft, it's actually right up their alley. I will explain that next.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag, title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20.
Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with zero down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show.
right, we're ready to rock and roll here. Coming to you live from VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. We'll be out here again next Wednesday. And remember, on Wednesdays, we normally start at 11 a.m., but when we're out here at VSS West Pines, because of the new thing that we're doing now, because of the COVID stuff, once we're post-COVID, we'll be back here at 11 a.m. At VSS West Pines. But for now, they're opening a little later, so we're opening at noon. So we start the show at noon, and that way you folks can come on down. And if you want to get any of your needs, we've got them for you here at VSS West Pines. Okay, so really cool by them to get hand sanitizer, toilet paper, paper towels. That's pretty cool because you get to buy that while you get your e-cigs or you get your rolling papers, a hookah, a water pipe, whatever it is that you're looking for at the same time. So, you can hang out. It's kind of like what we were talking about yesterday with that guy that was freaking out about, that specific plastic thing that he thought wasn't an essential. Hey, an essential is different for everybody. What you may not be essential for you might be essential for me, might be essential for him, might be essential for her. You just never know. It's a beautiful thing. So that's why it's here at VSS West Pines. We have so many things that are essentials to people that are relaxing or trying to relax or it's stressful dealing with the kids, the in-laws, the wife, the husband, whatever, right? You need CBD in your life, bro. I'm telling you, you need CBD in your life. You need to chill. All right, so let me, I get to do a lot of thinking here nowadays, right? I get to sit back and that's why I kind of changed my mind about Tua and said, you got 13 other picks. You can still kick ass in the draft and take Tua at 5. And if you know what the hell you're doing, you're going to pick good players all throughout the draft, right? You like Van Ginkel. So do I. He's a 5th-round pick. Maybe he turns into a player. You like Preston Williams. So do I. He's an undrafted kid. You like Nick Needham. So do I. Well, they got him off somebody's practice squad. You like Kendrick Nunn. So do I. Well, they stole him off Golden State's team. If you know what the hell you're doing, you're going to unearth talent everywhere, right? And last year, the Dolphins already showed you that they can find different guys. Listen, let me tell you something. The Isaiah Prince kid that struggled and he's a 7th rounder, that guy might turn out to be a good player down the line. Projects like that take 2 to 3 years to actually figure it out. If he does, maybe he doesn't. And if he doesn't, you don't care. It's a 7th rounder. The kid had a lot of talent. You try it. It doesn't work out. You move on. It might end up working out. You never know. So I was thinking about this, right? And this is a time, right? We've got a draft where you don't have all the information. You didn't get to do all the interviews that you wanted to do. You didn't get all the personal workouts that you had to get, right? Think about it. So there's a lot of people right now in the NFL scrambling for all kinds of information. And they're trying to track down people. They're trying to find any kind of game film, whatever, on all kinds of players. Correct? So I was thinking about this. This is a very chaotic offseason. And if you're not, you remember what I tell you about quarterbacks? I have a different way of looking at quarterbacks. Because sometimes people tell me, well, this guy didn't have a perfect line, and he didn't have a perfect running game, and he didn't do this, and he didn't do that, and that's why he succumbed to all of it. Well, then that's not your guy. That's the way I look at it. Some people will make excuses for the quarterback. I won't. I'll tell you, I need to see my guy act in chaos. I need to see that when there's chaos and there's pressure and the world is coming down on you, I need to see that you can make some good decisions at times. I know you can't overcome it all the time. I understand. But I need to see you make some plays. Now, if you're the guy that never makes plays in chaos, then you're not the quarterback. So let me ask you something. Last year, okay, like I told you, this is the offseason where you don't have all the information. you won't be as well prepared for the draft as you normally are. You have to do things on the fly. You have to adjust, correct? So, I was thinking about this. What did Brian Flores and Chris Grier do last year as a tandem, as a team, as a franchise? Last time I checked, they cleared out that roster. They brought in a ton of young guys. They turned over, I don't know what the percentage is, but probably 85% of that roster. They changed their offensive line the week before they started, the week of the season. They added guys. And they added guys every week pretty much. There were guys that would play 1 week, get cut the next. There were guys who would play well 1 week, and then they were schemed out the following week. They showed up 2 weeks later after that. They did something that nobody else could do in the NFL. By turning over a roster, they went as young as they could possibly get. They had less experience than everyone else in the NFL, and they still won more games than some teams. And they knocked out a playoff team who was trying to get a bye week. A divisional opponent that knows you. A divisional opponent that should have been your superior. So we watched Brian Flores overcome all kinds of things. He didn't waste time. If Josh Rosen didn't play well, he wasn't staying in the game. If Kalen Ballage wasn't playing well, he's not staying in the game. It didn't matter who you were. He was going to get you out if you weren't playing well. He was going to put the guys that were playing well. He adjusted from week to week. By the way, did he not adjust at halftime? Yes, several times. How many times did you sit there and I sit there and going, well, is Cam Cameron going to adjust? Is Joe Philbin going to adjust? Right? I mean, we just coach after coach after coach, and we saw Gase, no adjustments in the second half. Yet, this guy with no talent adjusted. This guy with no talent created a culture. This guy with no talent won more games than other people. Oh, and by the way, this guy scouts. Along with Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie and, of course, Chris Grier. I got to tell you something. This offseason, this draft was made for those kind of guys. Those guys just took over a franchise and went on the fly and won 5 games. And went 5-4, by the way, in their last 9. I also got to mention that. Because as you trend, it's this kind of a trend. Sadly, our COVA, problem is upwards in a bad thing. For the Dolphins, the upward swing was a good thing. This offseason, this draft, this chaos was made for our guys. I'm telling you, that's just you start to look at it, it's like, okay, wait a minute. You guys just did this past year. You had to turn over rosters. You were bringing guys off people's practice squads. You had no idea who they were. You were putting them in offenses and defenses and schemes 1 week to another. I mean, it was amazing. Some people were looking at it as a negative. Some people were looking at it like, oh, they're trying to lose. No, you idiot. They're filtering in out talent. They're trying to figure out who can play, who can't. All right, I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. I like this guy. He's staying. That guy's going. That guy's going. That guy's going. That guy's staying. That's what they were doing. It's pretty simple. But they did it with a whole bunch of people that they had no idea. Nobody made more transactions. Nobody had more nameless faces on their team than the Miami Dolphins. And yet, they weren't the worst team in the league. And yet, they weren't the poorly coached team. They were very well coached. They were disciplined. They committed. Not only did you turn over a roster like crazy, they were one of the most disciplined teams in the NFL when it came to penalties. Not only did you adjust on the fly with a whole bunch of people that didn't know who the hell you were and you didn't know who they were, they adjusted to you quickly. You created an environment where they could get comfortable quickly. Nobody gives them enough credit for this. But I'm sitting there thinking about this, and I'm going, everybody's worried about this draft and the communications and, oh, they didn't do enough interviews and that they didn't get the personal workouts and all that. And I'm thinking this. I'm thinking this is right up their alley. These guys did this all last year. This right here, this challenge is not going to be a problem for your Miami Dolphin front office. I just, I thought about that, and it's like, it's really cool. It really is. Anyway, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. As we're out here at VSS West Pines at 12397 Pembroke Road. And, of course, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. And then you can tell me here on the chat board how crazy I am about it. But I really feel like they've got an inside track.
You don't have to get it off the text. You're crazy. I'll tell you here.
True. That's true.
You don't have to wait for somebody to chime in on that.
That's true. Doria says, ESPN said we were an embarrassment and Connor beat a college team. I remember Fat Rex saying that verbatim. Well, I mean, they're the ones looking stupid now. They're all looking dumb right now. UG96 says the world will be watching the draft. The ratings are going to break records. Yes, they are. Andres Sandoval says, Big O, terrible what happened in Hialeah with the unemployment line situation. Horrible, horrible government. I wouldn't say horrible government. I'd just say it's just irresponsibility that happens all over the world. That's the thing. It's don't try to point it out like it's a Miami thing. There's people screwing up all over the world and making mistakes. In London, they're still not taking it serious.
Wisconsin, they had an election.
Yeah, Wisconsin had an election. I mean, just people, thousands of people. Tampa, they went to church. 500 people jammed in a church. It's not a Miami thing. It's not a South Florida thing. It's just a human nature thing that not all of us are going to be disciplined enough to wear our masks, to wear our gloves, to show social distancing, to be responsible. Most people are just not going to do that. I mean, I'm sorry. Some people are not going to do that. Most of us are. Most of us. That's why you see that things are starting to slow down a little bit, and hopefully in like 2 weeks, we'll start to look at it like, okay, now the numbers are seriously declining. We are on our way to maybe, abolishing this thing and getting our lives back. But there's going to be, it's not a Miami thing. It's not a Hialeah thing. It's a lazy take. This happens all over the world. There are people that still don't take it serious. More and more are, as they see what's going on and they realize it and they stop comparing it to the damn cold, that kind of stuff. But eventually, they figure it out. But you're always going to have a few of those people. Damn right, brother. We finally have a great front office. The Finns are going to own the draft this year. I'm with you, man. Miami Kid J says, Big O, que voila. RC in the 305 says, Joe Exotic was framed. Ty in the Bronx is in the house, says the Dolphin, Brass, Grier, and company are prepared for war, Big O. I'm telling you, what they did last year, that shows me that this is going to be right up their alley. And by the way, don't forget, folks, to give us the thumbs up while you're watching. Share the link to the broadcast on YouTube. Send it out to a friend on a text. Post it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, whatever you use, man. You can post it on TikTok. Do it. What the hell? Take a picture of our ugly mug and put music to it. What the hell? We are gearing up to dominate, is what King Short says. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind, my brother. No doubt in my mind that the Dolphins are headed for some sweet days. big time. All right, so we talked a little Dolphins, right? The other thing that I saw that was kind of an interesting story is one of the general managers in the NFL, specifically from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And remember, I just talked to you about being prepared for this draft, right? And the problems that are, could come from it, right? So, I got to tell you, I see a little panic coming out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I do. Kevin Colbert, the general manager of the Steelers, told the league officials on a conference call that teams should be awarded 3 extra draft picks given the inherent challenges posed by the coronavirus restrictions. The lack of pro days, private workouts, visits to team facilities have thrown some organizations for a loop. Too bad, so sad, Kevin. I don't want 10 rounds, baby. I want 7. You didn't prepare? That's your problem, dog. I know that Chris Grier and McKenzie and Allen and Flores are going to be more than prepared. That's why I keep telling you guys that I think our guys, loaded with scouts at heart, okay, not NFL executives that didn't earn their stripes or anything like that, i.e. Mike Tannenbaum. No, real guys that have been grinders, that they know what it is about sitting there and watching film for days and breaking everything down and reports and all of that. And they've interviewed guys for years now. These guys have had all this kind of experience. They're the ones that find the Nick Needhams and the Preston Williams of the world. Why do you think I don't want 10 rounds? Why do you think Kevin Colbert wants 10 rounds? Because he's concerned about the information he's gathered. Maybe he thinks he doesn't have enough information. Maybe his people did not do enough trips in the offseason, did not go to enough places, did not unearth enough, you know what I'm saying, information. These are the kind of things that I keep telling you are going to play into the guys we have in the front office. Because these are the guys that are not just looking at the obvious, but they're looking at the periphery. You know, they're going to look at free agency. They're going to look at street free agency. They're going to look at undrafted free agents. And they're going to look at draft picks. And they're going to look at all of them. And last year they added practice squad guys to the mix because that was a genius way. See, that's what people don't understand. That instead of picking on the Dolphins for the way they went about things, what you had to do was praise them for being incredibly intelligent of eliminating all the salaries, loading up on draft picks, and then filtering everything in that's young. So that way, when you're constantly turning it over, you're staying young and you're building on the good young pieces that you're adding. But the lazy take is, oh, they're tanking. The lazy take is, oh, they gave up on the team. The lazy take is, they're just going for the number 1 pick. Well, no, they weren't. And they didn't quit, and they weren't tanking, and all that stuff was all lies. Why? Because it's a lazy take. One person says it, the other person's a tool and follows, and they just go about it. They don't actually bother to look at what's going on and think for themselves, like we do here on this show. So when I see all this chaos, I say our guys have an inside track here. And when I see Kevin Colbert go, oh, give me 3 more rounds so I can secure 3 more players, and that way I don't have to fight with people because I don't really know what's left over in the draft. Meanwhile, our guys are going, all right, you see these guys? They're going to be left over after the guys that they expect to not be drafted. And then the ones that are, they take them off the list. The ones that aren't, boom, those are the guys that they're going after. So it's not just the 14 draft picks. look out. They might find one or two more guys in undrafted, just like they did with Preston Williams and Nick Needham. And remember, here's the other advantage that even Chris Grier did not have last year. Chris Grier was named the general manager and then took over and then had to establish everything. Front office, coaches, all of that. Did he have to do that this offseason? No. His staff has been working all year. Huge advantage going into this draft. I can't tell you enough about how, after 20 years of watching them just do everything wrong, okay? And after 20 years, as some of you I know were tired of me hammering the Dolphins, but, look at the results. It's not like I was wrong. It's just awesome to just keep watching them do the right things. And I just know that they're headed in I knew they were headed in the wrong direction pretty much every year. I just feel really good about this now. And then the more I look at the landscape, I just feel like our guys are going to have an advantage on this. I really do. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Let's see what else. FSU Nelly Nell 305 says 93 people and only 13 likes. Come on, people. He's right about that. Let's go. More likes, more sharing. But thank you for hey, listen, we're blessed. It says 96 now watching. Thank you very much. That is amazing. Hey, listen, we started off with like 5, 6, 7, 10 people watching. Now we go into the high 90s, into the hundreds now on a consistent basis. So we'll continue to build, and we thank all of you out there that you're on board. RC in the 305 says Grier sucked as a scout, unlike Alonzo Highsmith. How did he suck? You know exactly what picks he missed on? When you have that information, RC in the 305, tell me. But RC in the 305, ask yourself this, okay? Ask yourself this, because as much as I like you, because you follow me on Twitter, we go back and forth on Twitter, you're always here. I'm just going to tell you, as much as I like you, I'm brutally honest, this is an incredibly dumb take on your part. And let me explain, okay? Let me explain. I just want you to use common sense now. Think about this, okay? All right? I don't want you to smoke the sense. I want you to use common sense. All right? Follow me here. Really good here, okay? This is one that you got to make a segment for sure. Let me explain something to you about Chris Grier. He's been around for 15 years. How many different coaches and GMs during that time? Again, think about this. If you suck at suggesting players, the next guy that comes in, that scout is missed on. Okay, fire him, keep him, let him go. So think about this. Chris Grier must have been giving somebody good advice, because every head coach since Jimmy Johnson kept him around. Every general manager kept him around. And everybody knows exactly where your reports are. They're all filed. They're all recorded. They're all saved. Okay? RC in the 305, you must remember something. Chris Grier is black. Okay? He's black. I don't know. You may not have known this. RC in the 305. Black. Okay? Black people don't get the same breaks. Okay? So he's sitting there for 15 years in the Dolphin front office, obviously giving good advice. Because if you give bad advice, they fire your ass. That's what happens. So think about it. Okay? There's a reason why Wade Phillips gets hired as a defensive coordinator for 78 teams. and there's only been 32 in the history of the NFL. Yet somehow or another, he's coached on 78 different defensive teams. Why? Because he's really good. Now, he might be part of coaching staffs that get fired all the time. But, man, if you want a defensive coordinator, you're going to hire Wade Phillips. The guy's working. He's like 107 now, and he's still working. There's a reason. It's when you see coaches move around and they get multiple jobs, it's because they know what they're doing. It's because people know what their history is. But the problem is, again, he's black. He's black. Okay? The white guy only has to do this much, okay, to get the break. The white guy in the TV booth only has to do this much to get a break. The black guy has got to do something like this now. He's got to accomplish 10 times more than the white guy in order to get the damn break. Oh, and by the way, once you get the break, they can't wait to fire your ass. Because you're not going to get the breaks like Matt Millen. You're not sticking around like Matt Millen. Just saying. I mean, come on, dude. Let's go. Let's use common sense here. Where they kept Chris Grier around for a freaking reason. He must have been giving good advice. Finally, somebody had the balls to say, you know, instead of giving advice, why isn't he the guy at the top? Okay, Reggie McKenzie's the guy that finds Derek Carr and finds Khalil Mack and gets the Raiders out of the rut. And how do they reward the black guy? By firing him. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's be smart. Let's use common sense. Let's see through the trees, okay? Let's see what life is really all about. And it's really cruel. And it's even worse if you're black. Just the way it is, man. Okay? So Chris Grier hung around for a reason. And since he took over, no, man, I love what he's done in the last year. Okay? All right, let's take a break because we are up against the first hour here already, which is amazing.
Look at you paying attention to the time, man.
We try once in a while.
I'm truly impressed with you.
Once in a while. Maverick McPhee says, Big O, I'm enjoying your show. Over the years, you were always right about the Dolphins, and now I believe in your optimism concerning them. Bahama Maverick. Bahama Maverick. Who gave you that name? Now, are you Maverick and then you live in the Bahamas? How's that? What was that? What was the history of that name? Go Gators goes, Jim Caldwell had four straight 500 and above years, got fired. Matt Patricia went 3-13 and still working. To be exact, Jim Caldwell had 3 out of 4 winning seasons, made the playoffs twice, even won 11 games, and got fired. Being black is not fun in the NFL. Well, it's not fun overall. In fact, I got the funniest story about being black from COVID-19. We'll start off hour number 2 with that next.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag, title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20.
Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with zero down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
We're back. RC goes, what O-line has he ever hit on? Dude, didn't he hit on Laramie Tunsil? That's not a good pick. That's a good pick. Not only did he hit on it, he then turned it over to 3 more picks. I don't know. I'm good with it, bro. You know, it just I think he's going to be just fine. Let's see. Tyrone Sanders says, we are witnessing history with our front office being all African-American, and I couldn't be more prouder because each individual earned their spot now. It's time to show the world why. I agree. Well, they're going to show them. Marvin Allen's been successful already, okay? He did a really good job in Atlanta and in Kansas City. I've known Marvin in this business for a long time. I've known Reggie McKenzie for a long time in this business. Okay, and he's been successful for a long time, and I know Chris Grier knows his stuff. I didn't know too much about Brian Flores, okay, but so far what I've seen in the last year, how do you not like what you see from Brian Flores, right? I mean, it's impossible. He's the only one that I didn't have enough information about Brian Flores, but as for me, traveling the last 20 years, I knew enough about those other 3 guys. I know enough people that know them, have worked with them, and all of that, and I've heard myself certain things about all of them that I was, you guys know it. I mean, any of you that have been listening to me, you know I've been super confident since they got together. And I kept preaching to you about, you know, how good I think these guys are going to be, and eventually time will prove and all that, and those of you that are not believers or whatever, then you'll be able to make fun of me down the line if I'm wrong. And if I'm right, I'm sure I'll never hear from most of you again. You know? So there you go. RC in the 305. So what has he accomplished, Big O? Well, why don't you give him some time, bro? He hasn't been a general manager. This is his first year as a general manager. And so far in his first year, I think he's done an exceptional job. Hey, look, RC, you're not a believer, bro. That's fine. I've run into several guys like you. You're never going to believe. That's all. You're going to wait until you're wrong or something. And that's fine. And that's plenty of people are like that too. They don't believe in Chris Grier. Venom Porter says, Big O, I'm glad that you had the cojones about Grier and his position. It's just, he's a good football guy, and he'll prove it to people. There you go. So it's a good thing. All right. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. That's like a 24-hour talk show. Trying to find this story that I saved this morning that I thought it was really, really funny. Well, I mean it's actually a sad story, but it's funny that people are this twisted and that we would waste people's time this way. That to me is kind of the funny part here, and I'm trying to find the damn story because I'm forgetting the name of the NFL player, and I am so sorry because I thought I had it here. I should have. You know what? During the break, I should have actually waited and found it before during the break. And the fact is I'm looking for it now, which sucks. And it's terrible radio, and I apologize profusely. I'm an idiot for doing it like this. Let me see. Well, okay, so I can't find the story. I know I saved it somewhere. But anyway, so there's a story of a player that they called the cops on him 3 times in the last week for playing basketball in his house. And it's not like there's 20 dudes playing. He's by himself shooting hoops. And the neighbors called the cops a couple times. Now, obviously, the cops have done nothing whatsoever to him because what the hell are you going to do to somebody that's just exercising and getting a little sweat going, which, I mean, it's a really good thing to be able to do that right now. You know, keep your body and he's an athlete, so he probably needs to keep that body moving a little bit. But I saw that, and it was like, okay, wait a minute. So now we've got people that are actually calling the cops on you because you're playing basketball. Oh, it's the Raiders. Here we go. Jalen Richard, all right, likes to spend his free time playing basketball. Well, he posted on Twitter that he's had the cops called on him 3 times in the last 2 days. I said week. In the last 2 days for simply playing basketball at his home, and there's no reason that the cops should have been called. So he tweets it out, right? And then the people are responding to him. And he's like, are you playing basketball at your home? And he goes, yeah. And so he's at home playing basketball. Now, the question is, it's a black dude playing basketball at home. I don't know. Are they calling it on a white guy? Because it's kind of weird. See, these are the moments that when you're black, you look at other people that are white or any other color, and you're like, you can't relate, dude. You just don't understand what it's like. Because I guarantee you, if it was a white dude playing basketball, they would have not called the cops on him 3 times in 2 days. And look, it's not that I want to get racial here and play the race card and all. I don't really play that. I just call it like it is. So I don't use it as a crutch for everything because I don't believe it should be a crutch for everything. But there's no doubt that it's a problem. My man's playing basketball at his house, and the neighbor calls the cops 3 times in 2 days. And come on. accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. And for those of you out there, like the one guy that sent in the Hialeah thing that they did yesterday for unemployment, let me give you another example of it's not a Hialeah thing, it's not a Miami thing. California, which I told you they've done a really good job overall, right? But you got idiots in every state. You got idiots all over the world. Listen to this. Members of a Central California church found themselves locked out of the building after the pastor originally kept his doors open, saying the shelter-in-place orders violated his freedom to assemble. That's what this moronic pastor is doing. By the way, for you religious nuts out there, okay, nobody's stepping on your religious rights. What we're trying to do is save lives, you morons. And any pastor or father or whatever the hell you want to call them, okay, and they're actually putting people in a room together like that. You, sir, are putting, or woman, are putting them at risk. You're all idiots. Every pastor's an idiot, and every churchgoer that wants to climb in and pack in a building, you're all idiots. Okay? You're all freaking morons. We don't want crowds anywhere, bro. We don't want a crowd at a concert. We don't want a crowd in a church. We don't want a crowd in a shopping center. We don't want a crowd in a supermarket. Period. Over. No crowds. It has nothing to do with religion. Everybody can practice whatever religion you want. Much respect to all of that. But at this moment, this isn't the time. And nobody's taking away your rights. I'm glad they locked his ass out. In fact, they should boot him out too. Because that's a terrible tenant right there. My Lord. Way to go on that. That landlord, you know that landlord's a hero. That landlord's a hero. That guy just saved lives. The pastor's trying to kill people, and the landlord is saving people. Let me tell you, that guy should be commended. Whoever that is, stopping that religious nutbag from opening that church up, amazing to me, dude. It really is amazing. And for people to think like we're stopping them from their rights or something. No, dude, we're trying to save lives. Nobody wants to stay home and not make money. Nobody wants to stay home and burn out their savings. Nobody wants to stay home and lose their businesses, lose their jobs, lose their careers, suffer all kinds of setbacks. None of us want this at all. Okay? You need to pray, bro. Stay home and pray. When everything's over, pack every church in the world, knock yourself out, go pray all you want. But for now, morons, stay home. Stay home. Okay? Stop being a religious freaking nut. Stay home. That way you can actually live to pray another day. Think about that. You actually could be going somewhere so you can now kill yourself. That makes a whole ton of sense. And that's about the most intelligent thing in the world. Let's go join 500 other people and risk our lives. Come on, man. Do it online. You can talk to God online. You can talk to God at home. Oh, the guys who's behind the U, he don't play LOL. You can barely see his eyes. Huh? What's he talking about? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What's behind me? Did I miss it? I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know, he says something. I don't know what. You got me. You tripped me out here. Oakland. My brother, is that what you're worried about right now, the punter? We can't worry about the punter now. They'll have a punter. They're fine. They're fine. Let's get an offensive line. Let's get a D line. All right? And subscribe
Let's
to the
move
show,
the chains and keep the punter on the sideline.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe to the show. We want to get to 2,000 subscribers. We're right there, man. We're under 20. I don't know what it is, but we're under 20. So let's get it going. Let's see, what else do we have here? Joe Miller is in the house, 954. He's in a smoke shop. Yes, we are. We are at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Let's see. Tom Bocero says, pastor killing people for some lettuce. Yeah, isn't that the sad part? That's what it looks like too, right? I'm just telling you, the landlord is a hero. He's a total hero. Josh, he was behind you 10 minutes ago. Oh, okay. I don't know. All right. The problem is COVID-19 takes away a person's blood cells' ability to carry oxygen to your body. All right. Troy, you're getting too smart and offering too many great facts here, okay? We're not into facts here. We need misinformation, like honey and salt. Gargle it for 5 minutes and COVID goes away. That's a joke, folks. Don't even take me serious, okay? Because I know there are people coming up with all kinds of crazy remedies and things like that they say work, but it really doesn't work. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. It is a 24-hour talk show. Let's see. What's the other stuff? I got baseball-wise. I know that in the baseball players, now baseball addressed the idea of playing the whole, the rest of the season in Arizona with all the teams out there. Problem is that Major League Baseball put out a statement yesterday but pretty much saying that they haven't made any decisions on any kind of plans whatsoever, and that everything is being contemplated. I know players and some managers are talking about it, how they love the idea, but we're still a ways away from doing that. And I don't know how many of these guys are really going to be willing to be away from their families for several months. Although I will say this, they have had the offseason, and now they're having more time with their families. So to sacrifice and make several millions of dollars, it behooves you to maybe go away. Now, I wanted to bring this up on the baseball side, okay? This is what I want to run past all of you out there. In 94, we didn't have a World Series champion, okay? The strike shortened the season, ended it, and we never got a World Series. Baseball is a game that is already on a severe decline. Baseball is already a game that is slow, boring. Young people don't have the attention span to watch baseball. Okay? Let me run this by you now. Okay? Will baseball benefit from playing a game without fans, without an atmosphere? Terribly. Can you imagine a boring game, a slow game? And by the way, I say boring and slow because I'm saying that's what people under 35 are saying. Okay? I love baseball. I can watch baseball. I don't care. It doesn't bore me. The game isn't as good as it was before with all the strikeouts and just home runs. I will say that it's not as attractive as it was to me when I was younger. There's no doubt in my mind. It's a lesser game now. I will admit that. But I still can watch it. Okay, I got no problem. But think about this. Like basketball, I was thinking about this. We watch the Summer League. You know what I mean? And we find ourselves talking about the Summer League and did you watch this guy or that guy and all this stuff, right? And yes, when they play in the arena, there are people. But when they play the summer league games in those practice arenas, and there's only the NBA people there, so there's like 100 people there, not a lot of people, no atmosphere, nothing. But basketball, there's a lot of activity. They're running, they're jumping, they're blocking, they're shooting threes. It's a different ball game because it's constantly moving. Baseball is slow, deliberate. Baseball, I think it sounds crazy to me, but I don't think baseball benefits at all from continuing without fans. They could get their games in. They'll have an opportunity to get a season in if, of course, if everything goes well, and they'll play out the World Series and all of that. But if you play it in an atmosphere with no fans, I think it'll be a disaster. I really do. I think less people will tune in to baseball because it's going to be even more boring without an atmosphere. Less people are tuning into baseball as it is. And the stadiums have people, and they have an atmosphere. How do you play baseball now in empty stadiums? How do you play a slow game like that in empty stadiums? It's a weird combination. It really is. Football, we've seen games where there isn't great attendance and there isn't a great atmosphere, but yet the game is so fast moving that you can get by with it. With baseball, you got pitching changes, you've got everything going on that slows down the game, and then there's nothing to carry you. It's just going to be really quiet. It's going to sound like crickets. You're going to be able to hear every call from the umpire. And they say they're going to use electronic umpires. Let's make it even more boring. Let's take out some personality. Because I got to tell you, right now, we kind of need Frank Drebin to take over and become an umpire. Is it Frank Drebin? Or am I wrong?
It is
Drebin, right?
It's Frank Drebin.
It is Drebin, right? I am right.
Yeah.
That's who we need as an umpire right now. Because if you go to electronic umpires, you're going to make it even more boring and less of an atmosphere. There's not a young person in the world that's going to watch baseball. They don't watch baseball as it is. You're going to make it even more boring now. See, you could be in an octagon and there's two guys fighting and just knocking the crap out of each other. The atmosphere might not be as important. Football, fast-paced, hard-hitting. Atmosphere may not be important. Basketball, tons of action. Guys flying up and down the court. Atmosphere may not be as important. Baseball? Uh-oh. We got problems, Lucy. Lucy, we've got problems. Telling you. Just saying. I don't know if any of you agree with me on this, but baseball may be the one that hurts the most from they're already hurting like everybody else. But a lack of atmosphere, I think, will be an absolute killer for baseball. Gus 1388 says, "Hey, Vicks Vapor Rub works wonders according to mom and grandma." Big Baparu, exactly. Although I will tell you this, when I used to get migraines when I was a kid, until they figured out I had polyps in my nose, and they took out the polyps in my nasal cavities or whatever, the Vicks Vapor Rub and in a dark room, that was about one of my only hopes. Vicks Vapor Rub all over my forehead and sinuses, and then off and running. I had to just lie there and pray that it would go away. Oh, my Lord. But Vicks Vapor Rub did save my ass, I got to say. Adrian Gonzalez says, we've been doing all of our worldwide congregation meetings and activities over Zoom. And Adrian, that's the way it's supposed to be done. We can pray, we can do all we want, and do it at home, man. What we can't do is get 500 people together and pollute each other. That just makes no sense.
Vicks Vapor Rub saved your ass? I think it would burn it, bro. It would burn it.
No, it was all over my forehead. It was great, dude.
No, but you said it saved your ass. I don't think it would have saved your ass. It would have burned your ass.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd have been screaming like a little girl.
That's true. Ernesto Ulavarro says, life is too short to watch batter after batter step out of the box to adjust their uniform and scratch their balls. That's true. But think about it. Scratching your balls might be the most entertaining part of it all. Let's see. What else do we have here? Baseball is dead, Play Action 7 says. And guess what? Baseball with no fans might be a nail in the coffin. I mean, do you agree with me on that, Bill? Think about it. You watch Summer League, right? And you're like cool with Summer League when they're not the arena games, but the ones in the practice courts that there's only a couple guys. Yet the next day on
West
radio,
Palm Beach Community College,
but
man. Back in the day.
No, that's fans. No. In Vegas, they have the ones, or in Orlando or Utah, that are just practice courts. The next day, you and I are on this show, and we're talking about all kinds of different players we saw. I'm just saying, I just think out of all the sports without fans, I think baseball it's suicide. It really is suicide. It's like watching golf, almost.
This is all a money grab.
Right.
Anybody trying to get going, everything. It's all a money grab.
Now, I was anticipating that, right? Because I was either anticipating that somebody would bring it up on the text, or you even brought it up now. Here's the flip side to all of this, doing this whole crap in Arizona. Can you imagine? You move all the teams down there. You set all the stadiums up. You set up all the cameras. You set up the electronic umpires everywhere. And now a couple players test positive. Now you got to shut the whole thing down. And all of a sudden, your money grab became what? An entire loss. More losses.
They contracted it because they went to the grocery store.
Oh, yeah? There you go. Publix employees test positive for coronaviruses at 2 more South Florida stores. That's what I'm saying. You're going to bring people together, bro. And you know what we still don't know about this thing is how much can it stay hibernated in you without being detected. We don't know if that's true or not. They don't know if it's true or not. Okay? Hell, Fauci was saying that he hopes handshaking ends now with this. And he's right, actually. It should end. But back to my point. Baseball is setting itself up for something that they cannot overcome like other sports. An empty stadium in a game that's that slow is absolute torture. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in, you can reach out to us. We'll go to the accidentlawfirm.com text line. We'll read them in a couple minutes here at 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us there. And please give us the thumbs up there on while you're watching, and share the show with folks on Twitter, on Facebook. Send it to a friend on text. Maybe they're bored. She or he would love some sports talk or, life and little pop culture, a little music. We got all kinds of stuff. Hey, speaking of music, we should come back with the Struts doing a little Spice Girls. The Struts did a little Spice Girls. We'll play a little of that for you when we come back right here. And we do want to remind you that Toyota of Hollywood will be there tomorrow, over 400,000 square feet. They've got over 1,500 cars and trucks, and folks are offering 90 days, no payments. They know that times are tough right now. It's going to be a tough transition for most of us as it is, so no payments for 90 days. So if that car is breaking down on you, it's a money pit. Get on down to 1841 North State Road 7. Tell Herbie, tell Gary Thompson, tell Rick, tell him that Big O sent you. Steve Ostroff, he runs the show out there. He does a great job. We love him. Proud sponsor of our program. It is Toyota of Hollywood.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20.
Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with zero down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Welcome back. Hey, you didn't come back with Spice Girls, bro, with Struts. Struts did a little Spice Girls. You know that the bands are doing stuff on social media. So the Struts, love the Struts, man. I'm a big fan of theirs. They actually, not that I like the Spice Girls, but they did a little Spice Girls. So let's hear the Struts doing the Spice Girls. Go ahead. Fire it off.
can leave it all, just don't even bother. Caught in a craze, it's just a phase. Oh, will this be around forever? Don't you know it's going too fast? We see so hard, you know it won't last. Don't you know? Can't you see? Slow it down, read the sign, so you know it's where you're going. Stop right now. Thank you very much. I need somebody with a human touch.
There we go. A little Struts doing a little Spice Girls. I don't know that song from the Spice Girls, but I can say that the Struts sound good. Andre V is watching from Portugal. Andre V, thank you, sir. Muchas gracias. Watching from Portugal. Portuguese. I don't know how to speak Portuguese, so I can't help you there, bro. But thank you. Thank you.
With all the bands and the songs in the world that you could do a cover of, why would you pick the Spice Girls?
Well, you know what? They did a better job than the Spice Girls, probably. You know? What the hell? Now, somebody's asking me about the salaries. Livardo Aracape, I think it is. Aracape, if I'm correct. It says, if baseball is dead, then how are they paying those massive contracts? This is a real question. I don't know enough about baseball to know the answer. I know the answer. Okay? At least this is my theory. Baseball is now living off of their final big TV deals. Their TV deals now will go the other way from here on out. So they're still paying on this current deal. Whenever this current deal ends, not exactly sure what year it ends. Trust me, the new deals coming down the line for baseball will be less money. It has to be. Ratings are down. Attendance is down. Interest is down. There's no way the revenue can stay up. There's no way the revenue continues to go up. I just don't see it. I can't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I do talk shows. And you can listen to talk shows pretty much all over the country unless you're in a hardcore baseball town like Pittsburgh or, I'm sorry, not Pittsburgh, Boston or New York or something like that, Chicago, that, okay, some of those sports stations will definitely have their conversation with baseball. But the rest of the country, no. They can do shows without even talking about baseball. It sucks, but that's the truth. So there's no – common sense tells you that everything has to catch up to them. And so the sport isn't growing. Their fan base isn't growing. Their ratings aren't growing. Interest doesn't grow. Everything's decreased. So how can revenue continue? It's impossible. So the math tells you that the deals coming down the line will be smaller and the contracts will start to look smaller. You'll see. That's just the way. Hey, there are people that have been out of work in baseball now for a while, guys that were waiting to sign. There are guys that are settling for lesser deals too now. You know, there's a couple of the elite guys that they have to sign that they have no choice. But they're actually cutting back. There are teams that are not spending as much as they used to, which tells you all you need to know about where they're at. Because some of them may know also what I'm saying, that the revenues down the line are not going to match what they've been getting in. I mean, it's only common sense. If your entire sport is not growing in any way, shape, or form, how is your revenue going to grow? Harrison Newberry says, Miami might draft 2 at 5, then move up the draft. Jedrick Willis seems like a good move to me, and watching from England, a big fan from the show. Well, there we go. Portugal, England, Bahamas. Boy, we are international. Damn. Big O, when I'm not learning the stock market, I'm entrenched in our Dolphins from the Bahamas. I'm on this site that allows trades, and AIGM offers Miami trades back. This can help with scenarios. Well, we'll see. Livardo says, got it, O. Thanks for answering. Yahweh Bula says, Big O, was that a Judas Priest shirt you were wearing yesterday? Yes. Judas Priest yesterday, today, Journey. This is actually, I really love this shirt. And it's like this. It's like the faded look. This is one of my favorite concert shirts, actually, this Journey shirt. Because it's like, you don't get a lot of shirts that look like this. So, yeah, yesterday was Judas Priest. Today was Journey. Putting baseball on pay for its cable station was a horrible idea. The kids don't have money to watch the game if their parents don't like the sport. Well, kids aren't going to like the sport anyways. It's too slow for them. On average, you'll notice this, okay? And it's pretty much like 95% of these kids, all right? The kids that do like baseball, 95% of them have a seam head dad. That's usually what it is. It's their dad is a monster baseball fan, and it rubs off on the kid. But if it's not that, most kids are watching football and basketball and soccer. Kids have soccer ahead of baseball. Raul says, I've been watching Ozark. Baseball is a money-washing business. My wife started watching Ozark. I have not. Okay? There you go. Let's see. First major sport out of the gate will have insanely high ratings for sure. Well, that's UFC, Bubba. UFC is going to do it on the 18th. They're going to have monster. That's why Dana White's doing it, because he knows that it's going to be an incredible hit. That's why. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Let's see. What else do we have here on the accidentlawfirm.com text line? To get our sports back, looks like NBA or MLB looks like they're going to need their own schedule bubble like Dana is doing with UFC on his own island. Yeah, but I don't know how you're going to do that. With UFC, it's just fighters. We're talking about, entire teams. That's franchises. That's tough, man. Coaches, managers, trainers, broadcasters. It's a pain in the ass. It's so much harder for leagues than Dana White. Because Dana White only has to fly in 10 fighters for 5 fights. And then their corner people and that. And, I would imagine medical. I don't know what he's going to do about that in that island, but we'll see. We need to know what island it is. I just hope nobody suffers any kind of serious injury. Big O, hope you and yours are good. How do you feel about the Dolphins staying at 5 and grabbing whichever QB is left, using our ammo to get back into the top 10 for one of the elite tackles? Thank you and stay safe. I think you'll get an elite tackle at 18. I really do. I think it'll stretch out. I think there's enough talent, and because of the quarterbacks going early, that pushes more back. The receivers also helps. Some of the key defensive players, the few really elite ones, are also going to be in there, and that spreads out those tackles. I think Miami ends up getting a tackle at 18. I don't really want them giving up a bunch of draft picks. I want them to draft the fishnet approach. Be careful with the California exuberance. This is the same socialist state that wants murderers under 16 years old to be released and never take jail time. You know what that creates. Drug dealers hiring children to shoot who they need shot, a way for ghetto family to get out of poverty. The same state that governs wrote a letter to Trump saying that the COVID cases would be 55% of the Cali population without CDC info and asking for $1 billion. He needs the money to bail the state out of bankruptcy. Too much panic media info being released without verifying numbers. That's fine about all of that, bro. I wasn't talking about that. You could go on all your political tangent all you want. When it comes to the environment, when it comes to doing things that are sensible, California does it first. But again, when you're stuck in your political agenda, see, that's the beauty of I don't care about Democrats or Republicans. That's the beauty, because I think both parties are all screwed up. But those of you that are party zombies, like that gentleman that just sent it in there, you just want to think about one side of the fence. You can't do that, my brother or sisters. You cannot think of one side of the fence. You can't look at it that way. They are at least more progressive than the rest of the state. Politics aside, there's all kinds of screwed up things in every state and in every country. Okay? We're far from perfect, too, as a country. I'm just saying, all I talked about was that when it comes to the environment, when it comes to doing proactive things that are good overall, California's first. Every time. And I got to give them credit for that. I'm not saying it's perfect. Don't they pay like a boatload of taxes, right? And you say they're in bankruptcy and they've got their issues. That's fine. I get all of that. But you're talking about the political side of it. I'm not worried about that. I'm not talking about that. If I worried about that, you know how many problems there are in every state? There's all kinds of screwed up things. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that when it comes to the environment, when it comes to doing things, whether it's for pollution, whatever it is, man, you name it, they're first. That's all. They're willing to do the things we're not. Okay? And you know, while some states may want to rely on gas, they'll try to rely as much as they can on other ways of energy. So that's what they do. So I got to give California some love in that area. Okay? You got to leave politics out, man. That's why I don't look at things through a Republican or a Democratic eyes. I just don't, because I know that both sides are all screwed up as it is. But I got to give California love for that, because they do these things before we do.
The guy that you're trying to reach, he doesn't think there's any pollution like Trump. There's not an issue with it.
No, I don't think so. I think he just had an issue with, he brought up a great point. I mean, it is disgusting that you wouldn't want somebody, you know, that killed somebody not pay a price. He's 1,000, or he or she is 1,000% right on that. I'm just saying, leave the politics out. Look at the state itself. The state does things ahead of everybody else that is better for all of us, is all I'm saying. And I think they set an example in that area for everybody else. That's all I'm saying. They're not perfect. They're far from perfect. Nobody's perfect. Grier is the best researcher and data guy in the NFL. Prior lazy GMs kept him around for the data or just read a draft line on the plane. By the way, all the Pesos, the Culo, the Cali themselves, beat writers, are writing what you said 10 months ago. Bro Markelly, Hyde, Miami Herald. Okay. All right. Listen, I appreciate that. Thank you for noticing that, because I think we've been ahead of the curve when it comes to the Dolphins over everybody. I appreciate the discussion regarding the black front office executive. Expertly done, man. Thank you. Just telling it like it is, man. That's all it is. Just telling it like it is. Jerry G says, I wonder who's going to sign the head case Cam Newton. Well, we talked about that yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before the Cam Newton segment? I think it was yesterday, right? Yeah, check it out. Listen to the segment, Jerry G. It's not so much about head case. Listen to my explanation on it. There's a lot of layers to it.
Segment number 8 from yesterday.
Oh, there you go. There's a lot of layers to it, and you gotta listen to it, because there's more. It's not as simple as you're making it sound like a head case, because that's not really he's not really a head case. He's not. But listen to the segment, and I explain in detail what the challenge is for Cam and somebody trying to sign Cam too. A lot of the stuff is not his. NorCal says, there are great people in California. They aren't politicians. They're Californians. That makes sense. That makes sense. Again, I'm not getting into the politics side of it, but I'm just saying, when it comes to these kind of things, they are forward-thinking, and they are willing to make those kind of sacrifices before everybody else. That's all I'm saying. And that's where I commend them. That's all. All right, let's see, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Did you see the Bengals chaplain? Bengals chaplain almost died. Yeah, he caught the coronavirus, Lamorris Crawford, and then he laid helpless in his bathroom floor at 3:45 in the morning. He thought he was taking his final breaths. He goes, I thought I was going to die. Crawford first started feeling under the weather on March 17th. He felt fatigue and had a minor cough. The 40-year-old thought it was from the side effects of frequent travel. But in the early hours of March 20th, Crawford's condition took a turn for the worst. He woke up out of his sleep, attempted not to disturb his wife, and walked to the bathroom. Minutes later, he found himself lying on the bathroom floor, feeling powerless and thinking about his mortality. I literally thought I was going to die. I couldn't move. I had a loss of smell, high fever, chills, loss of taste, and fatigue. Now, he admitted he felt at peace with dying, but he was afraid for his wife, Megan, not having a husband and their 4 children. At the moment, he heard a voice. Are you okay? The wife asked. Crawford confessed upon hearing his wife's voice, he had a chance at survival. With the help of his wife, he got up and they rushed to the hospital. He was tested for flu, strep throat, and the new coronavirus. About that. I mean, for those that keep thinking it's like, yeah, it's the flu, dude. It's not a big deal. It's just the flu. Now, I tell you about people walking the park in England. I tell you about idiots in Tampa getting 500 in a church. I talk about the Hialeah unemployed people that are obviously in dire need, and they are risking their lives for a unemployment application, right? There are examples all over the world of people that are still not taking this serious. Okay? I'm going to give you a story that is sad and hilarious at the same time about the coronavirus. Are you ready for this story? A mayor in Illinois pleaded with residents last week to follow the state's stay-at-home order after officers reported that people were continuing to defy the rules. The mayor said he had directed the city's police department to use its discretion in issuing citations and arrests. These are very serious times. I'm begging you to please stay at home. Brent Walker, mayor of Alton, Illinois. Less than 48 hours, police broke up a gathering at Hiram's Tavern in downtown Alton. Among those in attendance, Walker's wife. The mayor's wife. The mayor is asking everybody, stay home. No gatherings. There's his wife at a bar drinking. I instructed the police chief to treat her as he would any citizen violating the stay-at-home order and ensure that she receives no special treatment, Walker said in a statement. He goes, officers found no unauthorized activity until Sunday when several individuals located inside Hiram's Tavern in an area outside public view, clearing disregarding the executive order. My wife, now this is the mayor. My wife is an adult capable of making her own decisions, and in this instance, she exhibited a stunning lack of judgment. She now faces the same consequences for her ill-advised decision as other individuals who chose to violate the stay-at-home order during this incident. I am embarrassed by this incident, and I apologize to the citizens of Alton for any embarrassment this incident may cause our city. I can guarantee you something. This guy can't control his wife. They're going to say he can't control our city. He is not getting voted in again. He's out. The freaking mayor is telling everybody, stay away. And here's his wife just, lushing out and having a good time. Gotta love that. That's just absolutely outstanding. That is too much right there. Yeah, no, don't care. Amen to that. That is crazy. You know what's also crazy? You know that 24-hour fitness is still charging its customers? And the gym is closed? 24-hour fitness has been shut down nationwide since March 16th, but it's still making workout fiends pay their monthly statements. In fact, the gym says any payments made between March 17 and April 15 will not be refunded. Okay? So 24-hour fitness says it's going to tack on a free month to the end of membership plans for anyone who paid for a month of a closed gym. But that's kind of a raw deal because people need the money now during the pandemic. You know, the good thing is there were other places that did the same thing. Like Disney was still charging people for their annual passes. And they're like, whoa, we're not going to charge you right now because we're closed. So they put off the payments. And 24-hour fitness, you guys may want to get this right. And you may want to, like, do things, you know, the right way and treat people the right way. Ugh. That's a little disturbing right there. And I know a couple people in one of the 24-hour fitness by Kendall, and it's a great place. But as a company, man, it's you want to treat people the right way right now. I'll give, Southwest Airlines, when I canceled my flight, Southwest doesn't really refund you. If I remember correctly, I had to do it once before. They credit you is what they do. And then you have like a year to use a credit or something like that. I got to give Southwest a lot of credit. When we had to cancel our trip to Oakland, Vegas, because we were going to Oakland for Pearl Jam, then Vegas for the draft, they never even attempted to say, well, we're not going to give you a refund. We got to give you a credit and this and that. They gave me the money. Yeah, that company did it right. And 24-hour fitness, I would say you need to tear a page from Southwest Airlines and treat people the right way, because they will remember that. Like the fact that Southwest they didn't flinch, bro. They didn't say anything. Like, yes, sir, we'll take care of you, no problem, boom, and they credited me, and we're done. And that was absolutely awesome. And when you get great customer service, like you do here at VSS West Pines, which is another thing you're going to love about this place, these guys are educated. They will walk you through everything. They will answer everything. They're just fantastic, man. They really are, because that's what they – a lot of people have these products, okay? Maybe not all of them that they have, but not everybody has the service that these guys – not everybody cares about people like they do. That's the difference when you walk in, when you I felt that love from Southwest Airlines. I got to say that they didn't bust my chops at all. They gave me the refund, no questions asked. And that's where I say, okay, that's the kind of company you want to deal with down the line. So if I'm flying somewhere and I'm deciding between a couple of airlines and the prices are right around the same, I'm going to end up choosing Southwest Airlines. No doubt about that. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. George is asking, just wondering, is there a problem with me driving my two children to an open field to get some air and kick a soccer ball, then drive straight home after? I don't think so. I mean, now the problem is you got to go somewhere where it's not a closed park. If the park says it's closed, then don't go there. But if you're going to find some empty lot somewhere that you can kick the ball around because you don't have a yard at your house, George, I think there's nothing wrong with that. People are walking. My daughter went for a walk this morning. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to get a little exercise. I see people exercising. Just, again, don't go exercise with 15 people. You know what I mean? If you're exercising by yourself, you're good. There's nothing wrong with that. So if I'm you, George, go, man. Go kick the soccer ball around with your kids and then come back, man. That's therapy for you. Do it, man. Bless you. It's a great thing to do. NorCal says, I'm sorry, Troy, man of 1,005 holds says, enjoy the couch, Mayor. LOL. Flipside Fishing says, wow, that's messed up. Let's see. NorCal says, Marriott Hotels waived my 10-room per night guarantee and allowed me to cancel our draft party to no penalties. I hope we can thank them by booking them for the Fins at Raiders, Fins for Life. I'm with you there. Yes. Use it for Fins and Raiders. Let's get that let's get football back and let's get the sports back. But listen, the most important part, ladies and gentlemen, is that we get the sports back and everybody is safe. First, it's safety. That's I want sports too in a bad way. Okay, it's a challenge for all of us to do our jobs. To do my job, it's a challenge. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a lot of sports to talk about. Although it's been amazing how we've been able to, carry all kinds of conversations. But we got to be healthy first. We don't want to suffer any setbacks, and I don't want to keep losing Americans when we don't have. I don't want to keep losing people around the world when we don't have to. But I mean, in order for us to get our sports back, Americans need to be safe. All right, let's take a break. It's 2:00, a little past 2:00. Our podcast, of course, our show is brought to you by Moodius Dental. We love Eric Moodius and all the great people at Moodius Dental. Dad and son, it's a family business. Go to moodiusdental.com. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Moodius Dental. If you've got a cavity right now, if you're in pain, folks, come on, man. Let's get you out of pain. Call them, 305-821-0231. And look, if you need to fix some of your teeth, maybe you need an implant, maybe you need Invisalign to straighten out your teeth like I'm doing, reach out to them, 305-821-0231. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you, I know it because I experience it every time I go. The service is amazing. The work is as professional as it gets. The results are sweet because I'm seeing them myself. 305-821-0231. Go to the website, moodiusdental.com.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag, title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20.
Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with zero down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We are back. One of the things I did this morning, I listened to the interview Howard Stern had Tom Brady on today. And I've never heard Tom Brady cuss as much as I did in that interview. I mean, that was, when you're on with Stern, you can, obviously, you're on Sirius. You can, drop the F-bombs, the S-bombs, all of that. I found a couple of interesting points. Early on, by the way, he apparently had crappy internet connection, so his Zoom kept falling down or, shutting down. And so he would cut in and out of the interview. And so they were like, kind of like, they were getting, disappointed about the interview at the beginning because it was getting, it was hurt by the slow stuff. And he is in Jeter's home. So Stern took a shot at Jeter. So what? Jeter's got crappy internet service in that place, and Brady's like, yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to upgrade the internet here. Derek's kind of a reserve guy, so he probably didn't need his for video conferencing. He's probably old school like that. But that was kind of the lighter side of it. I thought some of the interesting things was he talked about how he knew that last season, before the season started, that it was pretty much his final year. And, that's kind of interesting because that tells you that what happened with Garoppolo a year prior to that was a lingering thing. Now, he didn't mention that. And when asked about Belichick, he didn't take any real shots at Belichick like the letter that he wrote that didn't mention Belichick. Howard did not ask him why he left Belichick specifically out of that letter. I was hoping he would ask him that. He didn't ask him that. But Brady did say, he was very complimentary towards Belichick in the sense of, he said, Bill, I know Bill and I feel the same about each other. I know what he feels about me. He knows what I feel about him. And, and Howard tried to make it, well, but, he, everybody makes it sound like he made you, and not as many people make it sound like you made him. And he was like, listen, I know I wouldn't have been as successful without Belichick, just like he knows he wouldn't have been as successful without me. So we have that mutual understanding. So that was pretty cool, and I know Howard was trying to get something out of him from that, but he couldn't. The other thing was Giselle a couple of years ago told him that she wasn't happy with him. She wasn't happy the way he was conducting his family business because he was playing football, and then in the offseason, he was taking care of football business. Meanwhile, she was taking care of the family year-round. And she was like, when are you doing the family stuff? You're not doing any of the family. And so he had to kind of change and adjust his life and do more of the family stuff with the kids and all that stuff during the off season. So he does that more. That's pretty cool. And he also admitted that he was crappy in school. Okay? Which I really relate to him because he talked about how, I always did just enough to be average and get by. And that's kind of what I strive for in junior high and high school. I just wanted to do enough to get by. Whatever I had to do to just get that C, that's all I needed. Screw that. Everything else I didn't care about, how many days can I miss? Okay, I'll make sure I miss right up to the, if it was whatever it was, 15 or 20 days in a year, I would miss one less day than that. I knew exactly what days I was going to miss and skip and all that. I didn't take it serious. And he reminded me of myself because he goes, if my kids gave the kind of effort in school I did, I would be pissed. And I thought about the same thing. I go, man, that's just like me. If my daughter was like me in school, man, I would be pissed. I would be just absolutely livid. Thank the Lord she is completely my polar opposite. and just was awesome. Brady also talked about how he did what a lot of high schoolers did, got drunk. He says he smoked weed too. He says it tailed off for him in high school. He did less and less as he got to his senior year, and then obviously in college, the same thing. But he talked about how a lot of kids go awry, in high school. What else did he say here? He didn't show any ill will towards the pay. Like Howard goes, man, when I leave a station, I want them to fail. I want the whole damn station to get shut down. I want everybody to get fired because I'm not a part of it anymore. You got to feel the same way about the Patriots. And he was like, nah, I don't wish any ill will on them. Obviously, if we play them, as the Bucs, we want to beat them. That kind of stuff. And he's cool with this, turning the page. And that's kind of that's the other thing you got from that interview, that this was something that he kind of was looking forward to. And when he was done with the interview, in a way, it was a 2-hour interview, by the way, that Howard had him on. And one of the things that I got from that interview, it's not like he said it in specific words, but it was time for a change for him. And not only was it time, but it was needed. And I think Brady wants to find out what it's like to play without Belichick, what it's like to play without that specific structure that Belichick has in place. And so now he's playing with a polar opposite coach from Belichick. He's playing with a guy that's going to allow him to be himself a little bit more. You know what I mean? And so that part is kind of interesting. And we all can relate to it. You know why? Think about this. You ever been at a job for a long, long time and it got kind of stale? And then you said, I really want to change, and I look forward to a change. Sometimes the change is good. Sometimes the change is bad. Sometimes you're with somebody too long. You've been boyfriend, girlfriend for a couple years, and you're like, I need a change. You've been husband and wife for 5 or 10 or 15 years. And you say, I'm not in love with her that much anymore. I'm not in love with him much anymore. I need a change. And you seek that change. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. That's the part that's the unknown for Tom Brady. But I got the feeling that this was a necessity for himself personally, that he wasn't fulfilled personally in New England anymore, that the culture and the championships was not enough already. And he wanted to get a taste of, all right, can I do it with another type of environment? Sticking it to Belichick, which I'm sure there's some of that, but I think it's also for him, he kind of needed another challenge. And in the letter that he wrote on the Players Tribune, if you read it, he talks about after you've been in a place for a long time, you kind of take things for granted. You don't look at things the same. You may not have the same kind of fire to achieve those goals. Doing it this way, it kind of reignites it, because now Brady has added more pressure on him. Because, see, if the Patriots don't win a championship, we can all use the cliche, well, they didn't win a championship. But you know how it is in New England. If you don't win a championship, it's a failed season. But it's not like you're adding any extra juice on it with you're not calling him a failure or coming up short or choking or any of that, because the guy's got 6 titles. So in your right mind, you could never say anything like that. But now, in Tampa, it's a new team. He's never accomplished anything with them. He hasn't won a title in the NFC. He's trying to lead a team to a Super Bowl with a second team. Okay? Hey, maybe I forgot. Is there a quarterback that's led 2 different teams to a Super Bowl? Oh, yeah, Peyton Manning. That's right. My bad. Okay. I don't know if you could call it leading, but he kind of was for the ride. Anybody else?
You don't remember Craig Morton, Dallas and Denver?
Craig Morton, he didn't win with Denver.
You didn't say win. He led them to a Super Bowl.
No, I'm saying to win. No, I know that. I know
Okay,
that.
well, you said lead to get them to a Super Bowl.
But
They did.
win.
Okay, but
win.
Craig Morton is, dude.
No, that's why I
you
mentioned
wouldn't have thought of
Manning.
him.
No, I know. I would have thought of there's a couple guys that have been with multiple teams in Super Bowls. But what I'm saying is win. Outside of Peyton Manning, anybody else? No, right? So is it just Peyton Manning? So Brady is looking to do something also, pretty special. Because if you're able to do that, that would be amazing. No, right? Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else out there that has won it twice. No, Kurt Warner didn't win it twice. He lost with Arizona, but you're right. Again, it's winning. There have been a couple guys that have been to a Super Bowl with different teams. You know what I mean?
Earl Morrall.
Yeah, Earl Morrall, right, exactly. Made it to a, but he didn't play in that Super Bowl. Greasy played in it.
Yeah, but he's the reason why we went undefeated.
No, I know. I get that, but he didn't really play in that Super Bowl, so that's where it kind of hurts him. But technically, you're right. He did kind of lead him there. But, yeah, there's been a couple guys that have been to 2 Super Bowls with different teams. But winning it, it's only Peyton Manning. So with Tom Brady, he's just now put all kinds of pressure and expectations on him. Because now Tampa's picked to go to the playoffs. Now Tampa's become one of the more favorite teams to go to the Super Bowl. Why? Pressure, expectations on Brady. Now you can call Brady, I mean, it's ridiculous, but what I'm saying is you can say he failed if he doesn't do anything with Tampa, which is crazy, but that's what. So for Brady mentally, it has now reset that whole challenge. Now it's not a same old in New England, and we got to build it back up again and do it and go through the no, now everything's fresh. Everything's new. All his teammates are new at this, too. They haven't won a championship, most of them. So this is going to be a refreshing challenge for him. And that's what I kind of came away from that interview with Howard Stern, is that this is a moment where he needed. This is a way of him kind of revitalizing himself for this game. And I thought that was pretty cool. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. We've seen a lot of good people, or a lot of people step up and do a lot of good during this coronavirus pandemic. There have been a lot of private companies and individuals that have donated money to help the COVID-19 crisis, right? Well, did you guys see what Square and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey did yesterday? My man set aside.
I did. That was amazing.
He set aside $1 billion of equity to support relief for COVID-19 and other causes once the pandemic is over. I am moving $1 billion of my Square equity to Start Small LLC to fund global COVID-19 relief. After we disarm this pandemic, the focus will shift to girls' health and education and UBI. It will operate transparently, all flows tracked here. How about that, dude? The impact this money will have should shoulder benefits both companies over the long term because it's helping the people we want to serve. How about that, dude?
Hey, Bezos, if you're listening, hint, step up, buddy.
No, dude, don't. Why you say that, bro?
Yeah, because you saw the donation that he made like 8 or
100
10
million.
months ago.
No,
Yeah,
he just but he just donated 100 million right now to food banks.
You know what, man?
Bro,
it's not a billion.
Okay, but he just donated 100 million, bro. You don't just just say, "Oh, that's nothing." It's $100 million. I mean, give me a break, bro.
Percentage that he gives compared to what Bill Gates has done, what that gentleman just did.
Zuckerberg
he's-
so I guess Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan are scumbags because they only gave up 25 million. Is they let you down too, Bill? Come on, bro. Come on, man. I mean, I'm not. Money is money, bro. Billions and millions.
When you make
don't know.
12 billion net profit,
You don't
net,
have.
pay no taxes.
You-
Come on, man.
You
You
don't
got
Bill. You don't have to give a damn thing, bro. You don't have to donate a damn thing. You can go about your life, live in your mansion, and not worry about anything. When you take the time to write $100 million check, my man, or 25 million, or 1 million, or 1,000, God bless you. Okay, that's not the way you look at things, my brother. I'm sorry, you're wrong.
I just think he could have stepped a little
No,
further.
man,
That's all.
no. You can't tell somebody how to spend their money. They spend their money however they want. They've earned that right. Zuckerberg and all these people, they created something. They benefit from it. God bless them, dude. That's their genius. They should ride it out. Now, if they want to donate $1 million or $100 million, whatever they donate is something more that we have in order to fight this. So, and this is not the first donations that they've made, or Bezos. They've made several donations. And so did his wife, by the way. His wife also made a donation recently also. I forgot what it is. I'd have to look it up, but bless her too, man. I can't look at it that way. I disagree with you on that, my man. I disagree with you big time. Anybody that donates whatever, your time, $5.
Like I said,
$5 million.
It's appreciated and stuff. It's just, I think.
No, you're not appreciating it.
The 12
you're not.
billion that he makes and doesn't pay a dime in taxes.
Doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
Make up.
Yeah, it's just I think you got a terrible attitude about it, bro. I think you got to appreciate anybody that gives anything. Period. If you help an old lady across the street, bro, God bless you. Doesn't matter, man.
Open the door for her.
Anything, any kind of donation to our society that makes us better, whether you open the door for somebody, whether you donated blood, whether you donated plasma, whether you donated money, whether you're fighting the cause in the front lines, however it is you're making our society better, God bless you. That's all I got to say. He may not appreciate it. I do. Okay? I'm going to appreciate it
I
big
didn't
time.
say I don't appreciate it. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying he
you don't-
could have
you don't
stepped a
sound-
little. He could have tried a little harder.
You don't sound very appreciative. You are, you need to be married to Amber Heard. Did you hear
Well,
about- did
when
hear
you
about-
have 12 billion and you don't pay a dime in taxes, you got plenty of money in the coffers to share a little more.
That's terrible. That's terrible. You need to be married to Amber Heard. Amber Heard now faces 3 years of imprisonment if proven guilty for manipulating evidence against Johnny Depp. Remember she said she got bruised up and beat up by Johnny and all that? Well, apparently, Depp fired back and said Heard's painted on her bruises to obtain a temporary restraining order from him. Depp's legal defense wanted a subpoena for James Franco because he was seen joining Heard in surveillance footage. He saw Heard's face in the days and nights before and after the actress went to court with alleged bruises. In a different incident, Heard claimed that Depp gave her 2 black eyes during an argument that occurred the night before she made an appearance on the Late Late Show with James Corden on December 16th of 2015. Now, the documents obtained by The Blast, Heard's celebrity stylist Samantha McMillan denied her claims because she says she saw the actress on those days and she didn't have any bruises. Throughout the day on December 16, 2015, I could see clearly that Amber Heard did not have any visible marks, bruises, cuts, or injuries to her face or any other part of her bod. So if proven guilty, by the way, for faking bruises, she could face 3 years of imprisonment. She's fine. But you should be next to that
That's
crazy
not
bitch
enough.
for a while.
She needs more than 3 years. That's garbage.
Yeah, that's a. And let me tell you something. I hope this crazy bitch serves the 3 years and more. You know why? These people have to be stopped. Okay? There are way too many women out there making stuff up. But let me tell you why. I don't want to defend the men here. I want to defend the real women that are assaulted, because then we don't believe them, because we have all the lying bitches like Amber Heard. That's our problem. That's what creates a problem in our society, because we have plenty of women that are being abused. And then they come to us, and then we don't want to believe them. And why? Because of the Amber Heards ruining it for everybody else. And that's the stuff that's unacceptable.
What was the guy that faked getting beat up and everything?
In Chicago.
Yes.
The guy from...
same situation.
Yes. Huh? Smollett. Jussie. Right, Jussie? Oh, okay. Jussie Smollett, you said? No, it's Smollett. It's Smollett. Yeah. And that lying piece of crap, too. Another one. And
That's that exact same issue.
Yeah,
you know, by you lying.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not the problem we have with women. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different. It's the same kind of issues, but it's not our problem that we have in our society. You know, we got to be able to believe women. You know, when they talk about being abused, but we also need women to be honest about it so we can believe them. You know what I mean? Because then you have the Amber Heard. She ruins it for everybody else. Crazy stuff. Do want to remind you that the program is proudly brought to you by Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. They got it going on right now, folks. 2020 models, the ILX 209, the TLX 249, the RDX 339, the MDX 349, only $29.99 do it signing, plus tax tag and registration. And let me tell you, Larry Schlossberg and the boys, they're doing something really interesting here. You know why? They are offering 90 days, no payments to get you through these tough times right now. And if you own or lease an Acura, that means you are an Acura customer already and you're looking to buy another one or lease another one, they're going to give you $500 off for their Acura loyalty program. And one more thing, COVID-19 is a problem for a lot of folks out there, right? All of us. And we're trying to, maintain social distancing and all of that. Well, here at Craig's Inn, you can make your purchase online, on the phone, and then all they'll do is drop off the car at your house. How about that, folks? So, call them. Get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. And, of course, you can follow them on Twitter at Acura Florida. It is the finest dealership, no better Acura dealership on the planet than Craig Zinn's. Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Welcome back. Coming to you live, baby, from VSS West Pines. Remember, you can call them 954-613-3367. And I tell you all the time, this is like a Spencer's Barefoot Mailman. It's got all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you. It's just, and more importantly, they got top-of-the-line CBD products. And right now, it is a stressful time. Okay? And you got to deal with your wife, your husband, your in-laws, the kids, the animals. You might be going a little stir crazy.
America could use some of this stuff.
Yes. So you want to relieve that anxiety and all of that. CBD products are fantastic for that. Okay? You can smoke it, tinctures under the tongue, edibles, flour, women's face masks, CBD topicals for pain. My wife actually she had one of those transdermal patches for pain. And for about a week and a half, I think it was, she was putting on the patch. Pain's gone, dude. And once she would put on the patch, like within 20 minutes, the pain would subside. Not completely disappear, but subside like 70% of it. Okay, I'm not going to BS you. You'll feel a little bit of it, but like 70% of, like it was more, it ended up being a little discomfort instead of pain. Okay? And by a week and a half of that treatment, it was gone. It was pretty cool. It was really, really cool for her, man. Anyway, so if you want to get in on the program, it's really easy. 786-322-1105. And they've got it all for you here, man. I'm telling you. I love it. And by the way, for Mike Pellegrino, who's always listening, thank you, my brother. All right, I appreciate you, because he sends in. No one is buying cars, no one's driving, and you know what I love about Mike? He is loyal. Obviously, we love him because he watches every day, listens every day. But there is nobody more consistently posting comments without any facts or any kind of solid info behind it than Mike Pellegrino. Nobody. If you want more misinformation and fake news, listen to Mike. Mike, I just want you to know they're selling cars at Acura and at Toyota every day. Every day. Let me explain something to you, Mike. Life goes on. Cars break down. Leases expire. Okay? All right? Cars get old, and the little you're driving, you still find out you need a new car. It happens, my brother. So they are selling, and they are leasing. Maybe it's not like normal, of course, because nothing's like normal, but actually they're doing really good. It's crazy. You would not think so, right? But then you don't think about leases being up because Mike Pellegrino's sitting at home and not worried. Maybe his lease ain't up for 2 more years, or maybe he purchased his car. But he doesn't know that other people all over the world are leasing cars. Plenty of people here in South Florida leasing cars. So they got to drive their car into Craig's Inn Acura or to Toyota of Hollywood to get a new lease. Or their car broke down and they need a new car. They get a used car. They get a new car. They get a certified pre-owned. Mike, my man, you see things through your glasses, and I just want to tell you, your glasses, we love your commitment to our program, but I just want to tell you that your glasses and your info, 99% of the time, is way off.
What color is the sky in Mike's world?
I don't know. But whatever he tells you, just go opposite. Whatever he tells you about the Dolphins or the NFL or basketball or life, just go opposite with Mike Pellegrino. I mean, I have not seen a guy that posts more just like crap. It's amazing. It's awesome. But we love you, Mikey. We love you, my brother. We love you. Plenty of crap. Keep the crap going, bro. We love you. Let's see. Everybody in the chat, I told you Pellegrino's stupid. Troy George says, rich people get bored, so they go buy a car, or even under quarantine, you can drive that nice new car. You don't even have to drive it, dude. You know what they're doing? They'll deliver it to your house. You don't even have to drive. It's a new car, bro. What's there to drive? I mean, give me a break. You know, when you go on a test drive, let's be honest here. You're taking a test. All cars nowadays are pretty damn good, unless you're looking for speed and power. That's the only thing you want to test it, okay? Let me see how fast this car is, and you want to punch it a little bit. You know, outside of that, but I mean, you're taking a test drive in a new car. It's a damn new car, bro. It's going to drive great, and it's going to smell great. Big O, I still got my Dolphins jacket from Sears from 1973. Holy crap, King Short. You fit in your jacket from 1973. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
I have my old Dolphins waste basket, the metal one.
Oh, yeah.
It's about that big.
Yeah.
Still got that.
Oval one?
No.
It's round?
It's round.
Wow.
And
the oval one was really popular.
I have all of my pennants for every team, all the Dolphins Super Bowls, like all of them still.
Nice. There you go.
Thank you, Dad.
There you go. Not bad. I like that. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so let me get into this story that I saw, and I know that some fans might be a little disappointed. Now, I want you to brace here, okay, because I'm going to piss some people off, okay? And I do that every once in a while. I do piss people off sometimes because they don't want to, you know, they want to avoid the honesty, the brutal honesty that we bring to the table every day here on the program. So I don't know if you saw this, Bill, but Gary Bettman says it's possible the NHL season will not be completed. Did you hear about that? Right? So he says, we're looking at all options. Nothing has been ruled in. Nothing's been ruled out. The best thing and easiest thing would be that if at some point we could complete the regular season and then go into the playoffs, as we normally do. We understand that may not be possible, and that's why we're considering every conceivable alternative to deal with whatever the eventuality is. Now, let me express myself here a little bit. And again, for you hardcore Panther fans, you may not want to listen. Dale Talon, you may not want to listen. Okay, so let me just be honest here. I know the Panthers are 3 points out of the last place in the playoffs and all that crap, all that stuff. The season was a waste already, okay? This was a team that is nothing like what we were expecting. We were expecting a team that was going to grow up. And you know what we saw early in the season? We thought that was going to last all season. And it didn't. They didn't play a high level of hockey. They couldn't consistently beat the good teams anymore. They had a bunch of luck early on and had that great comeback against Boston. And somebody else they came back on 4-0 too, whatever. And they did some really cool stuff early on that we thought, hey, these guys are, they've turned the corner. And as the season wore on, we realized same old Panthers, nothing's changed. Barkov is not a leader. He's not. He's a hell of a player. He's a great two-way player, all of that. He can't be your number one guy. He can't. He's not dog. There's no dog in him. He's a hell of a player. He's a really nice guy. He's too much of a nice guy. He doesn't have a nasty streak in him. He's not a guy that smells blood and says, I'm finishing your ass off right now. Okay? He's a guy that should be a number 2 or number 3 player on your team, is what he is. And look, Ekblad, Huberdeau, the main guys that we've had here for a while. You've had them here for a while. They've had plenty of chances to prove that they can elevate teams and they can be difference makers and all that, and they're not. And that's all Dale Talon's fault. Dale Talon has not built a great team, has not built a great franchise, has not built a respectable team. And it's been 10 years. And let me tell you something about what Gary Bettman said and why I believe in my heart this is a blessing. Okay? End the season. This is old Yeller. Put it out of its misery. Put a bullet between its ears, its eyes, whatever. It's got rabies. Unfortunately, we don't have the cure. We got to put him down. The Panthers need to be put down. And they need to be put down in a Miami Dolphin, Chris Grier-like way. And it's now time, whenever they end this season, which I hope that's what happens, I don't even want to see the rest of the regular season. I don't need any more heartbreak. I don't need any more heartache. I don't need any more letdowns from the Panthers. I've had enough of those. And I've also had enough of Dale Talon. Okay? It is time for Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu, when the season ends, you bring Dale in, you thank him for his hard work, but you tell him it didn't work out, Dale. You've made the playoffs twice in 10 years. It is time to move on. It's time to turn the page. Go find another general manager, and I hope that that general manager cleans house and starts all over again from scratch. Okay? Because what I do know is the guys you have now, they're not worthy of being centerpieces of teams. There's not enough. Ekblad is not the defenseman that we thought he would be. Barkov is not an elite number 1 type guy on a team. He's a complimentary guy. He's a 2 or 3. He's not supposed to be the number 1 guy on your team. They need to go find that guy. Okay? That's all. They've had enough time already. And when I read that from Gary Bettman, I said, you know what I said? I said, thank the Lord. End the season already. End the misery already. I have enough to deal with this COVID crap. We all have enough to deal with, that we're all losing money, that we're all falling behind our bills, that people are losing jobs. You know what? I've had enough of the Panthers. These Panthers. These Panthers need to be destroyed. Okay? We need to treat this cat like old Yeller and put it out of its misery. We need a new cat in town. Okay? And his name isn't Dale Talon. It's time to move on. So whenever they do end the season, please end Dale Talon's run. He's had 10 years, and it's been too long. No general manager gets 10 years to prove himself. None. Nobody allows you 10 years of failure unless you're the Cincinnati Bengals or something like that. You know. Or I guess the Dolphins with 7 years of Ryan Tannehill. But you got to move on, man. I'm sorry. You know, I know Dale Talon meant well. I know he wanted to win. I get all of that. But enough's enough, man. You've had your time, dude. I'm sorry.
I remember during one of the broadcasts, the guys were talking about the fact that Talon really likes to play golf. I firmly believe that he was down here to improve his golf game, not the Panthers.
So you think he pulled the Parcells, is what you're saying?
Parcells will get at the horse track,
right?
And Talon was at the golf,
right?
Course.
Yeah. Our owner's paying Parcells and the bastards in Saratoga running the football team. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
I wonder what his handicap is now after 10 years.
I don't know. Yeah, it should be pretty damn good. I'll tell you that. So you see Hard Knocks. You see what they're doing this year. Hard Knocks is having 2 teams, not 1. Interesting. Now, they're both in Los Angeles, so it's not 2 teams in 2 different cities, different parts of the country. No. Both the Chargers and the Rams will be on Hard Knocks now. So they're both slated. And Hard Knocks, by the way, as you guys know, starts with training camp. I don't know when training camp is going to start. But I will tell you this. There's an interesting dynamic about this Hard Knocks because you're kind of going to see the team that's loved by the city and the team that's hated by the city. The team that's considered that has a competent owner that is willing to spend. Although the people in St. Louis will say, well, yeah, he looks competent, he's spending then, but he didn't want to spend with us in St. Louis. So it is what it is, but whatever. Okay, he's spending. Meanwhile, Dean Spanos is known to be notoriously cheap and not a guy that people like. Okay? It's going to be a contrast. You're going to see the love that fans have for the Rams and the I don't know, the uninterested
You got the
point of
city's
view.
you got the city's darling and the bastard child.
Yeah, and just the people that aren't interested at all in the Chargers. It's really going to be an interesting dynamic between the two. It's just now interesting how you would bring 2 teams, and I don't know what the thinking was behind it. I'm not exactly sure because training camp's not in the same spots. They're not going to play on the same day in the preseason or anything like that. So it wasn't like they were forced to do this. It wasn't like they share the same training camp. So it's kind of interesting how they went about it with 2 teams instead of 1.
Maybe HBO is located in Los Angeles and they just want to save some money on travel. Because traditionally, isn't the worst team get first option? And that would be with the new guy, Burrow, right?
No.
Isn't that the traditional?
That's you're thinking of the Senior Bowl. The Senior Bowl coaching, the worst team gets it unless there's a coaching change. Then it's the second worst, then the third worst. That's how it goes. Hard Knocks is picked by the teams that are volunteering for it, or they get picked because they hadn't done it yet, and they aren't part of it. I think if you win the Super Bowl, you don't have to do it, or if
You're right, yeah.
I think you can, like, if you're a deep playoff team, you can kind of like. You can like sidestep it or something like that because like the Patriots are never on it. You know what I mean? So maybe they will be now that they'll start sucking.
Let's be honest. How good would it be? What would Belichick? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it might be entertaining to see him just be frustrated with the process
Every day.
Yeah, that mics are in his face. It would be just great to just piss him
Your
off.
ass is still here. You didn't get the message yesterday.
Yeah. Mike No-Go Zones chimes in and says, Bill Parcells came to Miami to just collect another paycheck. You are right, sir. You are right. NorCal says the Rams and Chargers are sharing the stadium and the new logo, LOL. The new stadium is going to be so vanilla and boring. Troy Ortiz says Spanos wasn't going to spend money on a stadium. San Diego wasn't giving him the stadium. So he did the next best thing. He became a tenant of a new stadium. That's it. And he lost a lot of money in the process because he's going to lose money as being a tenant because he's not going to bank all the money on that stadium. The owner of the Rams is going to make all the money from his team and some from the Chargers. So he's the one that really wins out of all of this. It's amazing. But the contrast of all of this is pretty crazy.
You know who's pissed off about that?
One or the other.
You know who's pissed off about that new stadium?
Who's that?
Parcells, man. They ripped down a horse track.
Oh, well, no, the horse track was gone. It was already gone. It's been gone for a while.
Oh, well, they killed it off.
The only
They killed
thing-
it off and
the-
pissed
the-
Parcells off.
The Hollywood Park was already gone, and the only thing left is the casino from Hollywood Park. That's what it is.
We actually got to see
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
piece that was there when we were at the Forum.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Pull up the C.J. McCollum cut. C.J. McCollum was on Jay Williams' podcast, and he was talking, and I don't know. I'm not asking you to whip out the violins, okay? Because I don't plan on whipping out the violins either. But let's listen to C.J. McCollum on with Jay Williams talking about how this COVID-19 pandemic is affecting the NBA and its players. Go ahead.
You had to put a percentage mark on how many players in the league live paycheck by paycheck. What would you say that is, CJ? Because, I mean, a lot of people in the world live paycheck by paycheck now, so it's not an uncommon practice.
Right. I would say there's some guys in the league that are hurting right now because there could be obviously the work stoppage is in place, but there could be a pay stoppage. We're on pace to lose about, 23.5% of income off this season, and then we probably lost $1 billion, maybe even more, depending on if we're able to restart a season, which will affect the collective bargaining agreement and the BRI next season. So I think a lot of guys are going to be hurting, especially people on minimums or people that didn't just budget correctly, they didn't expect this to happen. Maybe they loaned money or gave money to family. Maybe they're taking care of multiple people, and now there's a work stoppage for us and for a lot of people in America. So I would say out of 450 players, 150 probably living paycheck to paycheck.
Now, here's what I would say to that. If 150 are living paycheck to paycheck, too bad, so sad. I worry about the guy that's got a wife and 3 kids, and he lives paycheck by paycheck, and they're barely getting by, and they barely have food, and this is their normal life. You, as a professional athlete, and even if you're getting paid the minimum, you should live a comfortable life, and you should have your money. Now, if you had to pay your baby mamas, if you got 4 girlfriends, if you got a wife and 2 ex-wives, that's your dumbass problem, okay? If you got a bunch of family members that are a bunch of leeches, that's your problem for not looking at them and saying, yo, get a job. Go support your damn self, all right? They didn't put my ass here on earth to support all of you, all right? I get it if you got to support your mom and dad and they're getting older and that kind of stuff. You want to give back to your mom and dad. But that cousin, that uncle, that brother, that sister that comes leeching around, come on, man. Go make your own life. Okay? And so to me, that's where I doubt, considering how many people right now are in just terrible, terrible shape. I mean, look at the people in Hialeah. They were risking getting COVID, and who knows how it's going to affect you, for an unemployment form because they're that broke. Those are the people I worry about. The lower income people that right now, they don't have a savings account. They barely live from check to check. They're like this is the water level, and their eyes are above the water level. They got to get on their tippy toes every couple seconds to get a couple breaths in, and then go back under water and hold their breath for a little. That's how bad it is. It's hard to feel sorry for NBA players. It's hard to feel sorry for any athlete. Any pro athlete, the kind of money you're making, even the minimum, is the kind of money that we would live like kings and queens out there. So, look, I get it. It's a subject, and it's something for them to talk about. But if you're expecting any kind of sympathy from the public, I don't see it coming. And I'm certainly not going to give you any sympathy on that. That's for damn sure. Tell you. That's one of those situations that for me, no way you're going to get any kind of sympathy from me on that one. All right, it is time to wrap it up. Remember, we are out here at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. The number, please save it on that cell phone, 954-613-3367. You see it right here in the white box that's right under me there on the screen. You'll see it there, 954-613-3367. Listen, you're going to remember me, okay? You guys are open to what? Like 6 or 7? 9? Wow, till 9. They're open till 9 every day. Open at noon to 9, right? Right. Oh, yeah, you're close to the curfew. Okay, so you're right within the curfew area. I got you. So they're here till 9, okay? And you got to deal with family members and your spouse and the kids, and it gets stressful, and you're going, what can I do? Come to VSS West Pines, okay? Get yourself some CBD. All right, relax, chill out. If you're in pain, come get yourself some CBD. They've got hand sanitizer, toilet paper, paper towels also, so you can take care of some of those things. At the same time, they've got all kinds of cool little products. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com. And again, save it, 954-613-3367. We'll be back here next Wednesday again at noon. Tomorrow, catch us starting at 11. We're back at our regular time tomorrow, and we'll be at Toyota of Hollywood. On behalf of all the great people out here at VSS West Pines, Bill, as always, and of course, everybody that has tuned in, watched, downloaded, however it is you support our show, we love you for it. 1 million plus strong in downloads.
I don't know how the hell you just did 3 hours again, man. You're astounding in this capacity, bro.
We try, my brother. We try.
No sports, and you pulled 3 hours.
We try, man. We try.
You're amazing, bro.
Thank you all out there. Thank you all for supporting us every single day. The support is just mind-boggling. It really is.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. Please be safe out there, okay? We'll see you tomorrow live from Toyota of Hollywood. Be good.
Be safe.